Hey you guys, welcome to Insomnia with Nina Valdez. I'm just going to talk to you guys for a few minutes today. I don't have a recipe or anything. I've been running around like a crazy person for the last 3 or 4 days. House sitting, dog sitting, taking care of regular business, grocery shopping, just all kinds of craziness. I've also been going 2 or 3 times a week to my play practice for a murder mystery dinner theater, where I am playing a Velma character, which I talked to you guys about a little bit before when I was doing the character makeup and stuff. So that's exciting. That's next weekend at Arcadia Academy, if you guys want to come, if you're in Missouri. Also, tomorrow I have a audition for a small film production, so that's going to be pretty exciting. Something I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about is something that has been coming up in several different situations lately, and I've talked to different people about it, just in different situations, and actually it came up through different topics. One of the topics that is being talked about is the situation with Kesha and her trying to get out of her situation with Sony, and they're basically being a bunch of jerks and not letting her do what she needs to do to get away from her predatory person that allegedly hurt her. Having been through that situation, I can't imagine a woman going through the court processes over and over and over again and having to describe things over and over and over again and just all that craziness. Basically, going through that, like going through the court processes and having to talk about that situation over and over again. If you have been assaulted, it's basically like having to relive that assault every single time you have to talk about it. And yes, it does get better after years of having to talk about it. So it is good for you to talk about it, but it should not be a forced situation like that to where you have to in order to just survive or to have anybody believe you or anybody help you. So there was a couple of other situations that were similar where people were talking about people not supporting them and them not feeling like they're able to get away from predatory people, and even feeling bad and like feeling like guilty for not being around those predatory people. And I just want to tell you, like, you don't need to feel bad about that. These people are choosing to be horrible people. Like, that's their choice. That's not your choice. Your choice and your option is to take care of you and your kids, especially if there are kids involved. 100% get them out of that situation, whatever you have to do. I would say even like seriously extreme measures, whatever you have to do, get them out of that situation. Do not continue to allow yourself or your children to be abused. You are better than that. You are worth more than that. Your kids are innocent. They didn't choose to be with that person. You are the one choosing. And so if you stay with that person, their blood is just as much on your hands. So, don't feel bad. And, I would say, like, keep a forgiving heart about it. Like, just forgive them in your heart. Like, even if you have to do it day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute sometimes, That's what I've had to do in different situations. And it's not for them. It's for you. It's so that you don't go around bitter and just become just as bad of a person as them. That's what, you have to do sometimes to not become like them and not become predatory and like hurt other people yourself. You have to just forgive them, and you have to move on, though. Like, you have to get away from that person, because especially if they have continually throughout months and years of you being with them, or if you have seen them in other situations with other people where they have done the same things or similar things to the other people, and you thought, oh, they've changed. You know what? It doesn't matter. At some point, you have to say, you know what? I hope you have changed. Thank God. I will pray for you. I hope you have changed, but I am done putting myself and my children or my family in a compromising situation. And I want to challenge, especially churches. Churches have been horrible about allowing this to happen and encouraging women and even like guilting, especially women. I mean, sometimes men, but the majority of the situations are women and children who are being abused. And so churches have been notorious throughout centuries of guilting women and telling them that, acting like they're a horrible person or that they're doing something wrong if they are protecting themselves and their children. And I want to challenge church leaders right now to stop doing that. These people's blood is on your hands if you are telling them to stay and they are continuing to be abused. That is your fault, and you need to stop. Also, and again, I'm not being unforgiving. I love the church, but they have been wrong, and they need to stop doing that. It's not difficult. Like, I'm sorry if you lose butts in your seats, but that should not be your priority. Your priority should be protecting these innocent people from continuing to be abused. Also, in my life, there have been a lot of men who the women in my life have looked to and said, why aren't you standing up for us? And we've waited for them and hoped for them to stand up for us. And they refuse for whatever reason, whether it's because they've been abused themselves or they're trying to stand up for the other men or whatever the situation is, they have refused to stand up. And, now is the time that this needs to stop. So women, if you have to just stop expecting that, stop expecting these men to stand up and be men and protect you like they should, then that's what we're just going to have to do. You have to do whatever you have to do to take care of yourself and your children. You can't take care of your children, and you can't be a good mom if you're allowing yourself to be abused. So you need to get yourself out and do whatever it takes to get your children out, because the courts will not back you up. The law will not back you up. I've been through it. I know. They either tell you that they don't care, or if you get in a restraining order because they've hurt you, then they're like, oh, well, we can't get you a restraining order for your children unless they hurt your children. So you're supposed to just sit back and allow them to hurt your children? That doesn't make sense. Guaranteed, predatory person is a predatory person is a predatory person. If they are going to hurt you, guaranteed, if you're gone, they will find whoever is around that they perceive as weaker than them, and they will hurt them one day or another, one way or another. Maybe it's not the same way that they hurt you, but they will do whatever. Also, another thing is mental, emotional, spiritual, and sexual abuse are 100% just as bad as being punched in the face. My situation that I was in, I dealt with mental, emotional, spiritual, and sexual, but the person didn't actually hit me. At the end of the day, I wish that he had just punched me in the face so that I could have some kind of proof to be able to go to the police and be able to get some kind of help. But, sorry, I'm getting kind of emotional. This is a hard thing to talk about, but it has to be talked about because for too long, people have not talked about it. People have swept it under the rug, and they have, tried quietly to go get help, and the people, the police, the church, whoever is supposed to be helping people are not helping people. And so as the people who have lived with this abuse of any kind, mental, emotional, spiritual, sexual, or, being beaten, we need to stand up. Nothing is going to change until we stand up and we create boundaries. And if people are offended by those boundaries, sorry about it. They're going to just have to deal. And if you lose friends, you have to say within yourself whether or not keeping yourself safe, sane, healthy, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and keeping your children safe is worth losing friends, losing family, losing church, losing, whoever you have to lose, whatever you have to lose, whatever you have to do. If you have to be homeless for a while, whatever you have to do, we have to stand up and do this. Nothing would have changed if Martin Luther King had listened to those around him and thought, oh, well, I should just keep my mouth shut. Things are better now than they were before, so I should just keep my mouth shut and maybe things will get better someday. No, he had to stand up. He had to lose friends. He had to lose family. He had to go without things and be beaten up and go through all kinds of crazy stuff in order to change things. And that's what we're going to have to do. It's just how it is. And, that sucks, but nothing's going to change if people don't stand up. And I guarantee you, I will probably get negative comments on this. People that I love and people that say that they love me will respond negatively about this. I have people in my life that they get mad and they're like, oh, you don't have my back because you won't spend time with my significant other who is an abusive piece of crap. They don't say he is, but he is. And it's like, no, I've had your back. I've always had your back. You don't have your own back. And nobody can help you. God cannot help you until you have your own back. God couldn't help me until I had my own back. When I just dealt with the abuse and lived in it, then God was like, if you're going to live with it, what am I supposed to do? But the minute that I changed my mind and said, you know what? I'm worth more than this. my daughter is worth more than this. I'm not going to have my child raised going through what I'm going through. The minute that I changed my mind, God himself stepped in. Like, this is the reason that I know beyond a shadow of a doubt there is a God, because things changed in such a way that I could have never done anything about it. I had doctors, lawyers, police. I called every kind of person that was supposed to be able to help. And all of them basically told me, oh, well, you don't have, enough proof to do anything. We can't help you. So, I had family members who acted like I was lying, acted like I was crazy. I had friends who acted like I was lying, acted like I was crazy. I lost friends over the situation. And, so I had very little support. I had the support of my immediate family in that, they loved me and they weren't gonna leave me, but they thought I was crazy. So it's been years now to where they have figured out, oh, okay, we get what you're saying now. So it is going to be hard. It's going to be crazy. You're going to lose people. But like I said, you have to figure out where to draw that line and say, I'm not willing to allow myself and my children to be abused anymore. And it's worth it to lose people if that's what I have to do. So I know that was super heavy and no fun stuff like snacks or recipes, but I've just been getting that from all different sides lately, this topic. And so I felt like I had to, whoa, my computer went black and then no light. That's weird. Anyway, so I just felt like I had to address that. And so I love you guys. I hope that you guys are safe mentally, emotionally, spiritually, sexually, and in every other way. I hope you guys never have to deal with any of that kind of abuse. But if you do, know that you are worth more than the way that person is treating you. You are a child of God. Like, God does not expect you to stay in that situation. Like, one of the biggest things that I heard during my situation and in the situations of a lot of my family members is God hates divorce. And maybe you're married, maybe you're just with a boyfriend, maybe it's another family member or a friend or something that's doing the abusing. Know this: God hates divorce, but God also hates watching his children be abused. God is a good father, and a good father is not going to stand there and watch his little girls and his little boys being abused. But as a grown adult, he cannot help you until you make the decision to make it stop. So, I love you. Thank you for hanging out with me in my insomnia, even though this has been a super heavy, crazy topic. I hope you guys are getting stuff done. I hope your insomnia is as productive as mine. Again, I hope you are safe. If you are not safe, please speak up to everyone, everyone around you. Like, if you have to go to all the churches around you, call all the hotlines, call everyone, talk to every single friend you have, do whatever you have to do to get out. I love you guys. Get some good sleep. Good night.